77 years, the ghosts of a submarine crew have laid undisturbed on the bottom of the Mediterranean. The HMS Urge mysteriously vanished at the height of World War II, fleeing a Nazi invasion, and now have made a fascinating discovery.
Within the thick rainforest, the local police force has been stunned by an unexpected finding. A suspiciously abandoned World War II submarine among the tall trees was thought to have been lost at sea. Guards stepped closer to the corroded ship, growing more alarmed as they saw what was within. Photographer Jason was sent into the bush to record the birth of a young sifaka lemur. His client, a wildlife magazine, provided him with the coordinates because they wanted to be the first to publish a picture of a baby sifaka lemur. But rather of discovering the troop of lemurs, Jason discovered something he never would have imagined. When he cleared a large leaf from his field of vision, he discovered he was truly staring at a submarine, even though at first he believed it may be a wrecked airliner. Attempting to avoid creating noise and frightening the animals, he cautiously and gently strolled through the rainforest till he noticed an odd metal object far away. His eyes widened in disbelief as he approached the submarine. It appeared as though it had been there for decades, still partially submerged in a large body of water. His gaze suddenly settled on a previously observed marking. Jason's eyes were so unbelievable. He identified the marking as being from World War II. That isn't possible, is it? Jason was aware that he needed to contact the local police, but did he think they would accept his claim of discovering a World War II submarine deep within a rainforest? Most likely not, therefore he started to take pictures of the submarine. He circled it gently, looking it over from top to bottom. His gaze landed on a peculiar red smudge, and his heart raced. Although Jason knew in his heart what the bloodstain indicated, he refrained from drawing hasty judgments. He promptly contacted the police after taking a picture of that as well. He emailed the police his photos since, as he had anticipated, they would not trust anything he said. Soon later, he received a call from someone informing him that the police would be visiting him right away. Jason was fascinated by this submarine's history and construction. He also had plenty of time to go investigate it as long as the police weren't presently there. Amidst a rainforest, what other course of action could he take? He simply made the decision to go investigate the submarine out of pure curiosity. In any case, what may have been the worst-case scenario? He had to enter through the submarine's main opening on top. All he could hope was that it wasn't something like rusted shut. Jason knew that his only choice was the most obvious one because he had already circled it several times and had not discovered any openings that he could use to gain entry. Jason succeeded in scaling the submarine and moved toward the entrance. He attempted, but was unable to open the hatch on top of it. Jason thought it could be locked. It was obviously not corroded in any way. It appeared as though it could be opened with ease. The odd thing, though, was that nothing that he could. By this point, the sun was beginning to drop, and the cops had ordered him to stay exactly where he was. He then tried to fall asleep by crawling inside. Fortunately, Jason had brought his tent with him in case he didn't discover the sifaka lemur in a single day. He made the decision to spend the night camped out next to the submarine and eating freeze-dried food, with a focus on trying since the animals of the night awoke as darkness fell. There were moments when the sound would like someone passing by his tent or a metal door opening. Jason was awakened throughout the entire night by odd noises that didn't always seem to be coming from animals. Fearful, Jason slept through the night in his tent, waiting for the morning to rise. When Jason noticed the first sunbeams hitting his tent, he let out a relieved sigh. His relief was short-lived as he hurried to his feet and turned to face the submarine. The submarine's main entrance had suddenly become wide open. Unable to contain his curiosity, Jason made the snap decision to board the submarine before the cops arrived. Jason was taken aback by the interior's vibe as he gingerly made his way below deck. It was really surreal, Unlike what he had anticipated, the air within was unexpectedly fresh and not at all musty or stale. It raised greater concerns regarding the submarine's position in the jungle by implying that working life support systems might still be in place. Jack took out his camera and started taking pictures of the enigmatic surroundings. His flashlight cast a soothing glow over the spooky chamber. He caught every little detail, including the dimly lighted hallways, the time-frozen control panels, the abandoned personal items, and the foreboding silence that pervaded the submarine. With every click of the camera, the unknown was captured and preserved for later analysis. Jason was startled to hear faint sounds coming from outside the submarine as he continued inside. Shit, he considered. Here the police were. Were they pulling him over? Though he moved swiftly to get out of the submarine, his stomach fell as he did so. He was the target of every police officer's gun. Jason tried. "I'm Jason, the one who called." The officers were unhappy even as they swiftly lowered their weapons. Jason was approached by the police commander as soon as he got off the submarine. Since he hadn't waited for them and his DNA was now all over the submarine's interior, Jason couldn't really hold them responsible. He continued, "You have to accompany us back to the station for some questioning." The cops discovered old and mysterious codes engraved into the submarine's walls. The characters confused and intrigued the cops because they were unlike any language or encryption technique used in modern cryptology. The purposeful and complex glyphs appeared to be whispering secrets from a bygone past that were just waiting to be figured out. In the middle of the submarine, the officers found maps with strange symbols on them. These symbols suggested hidden paths or sites by entwining with geographic outlines. The old but well-preserved maps fueled conjecture about the submarine's origins and intended use, adding another level of mystery to its mysterious presence in the jungle. The officers conjectured about the meanings of the maps and codes. Were these World War II strategy plans, or something more mysterious? The way enigmatic symbols were entwined with well-known geographical locations implied a goal beyond traditional combat. The maps indicated locations that were unknown, maybe disclosing a mission veiled in the shadow of history. Attempts to crack the codes were unsuccessful in the beginning. The symbols defied all traditional interpretation techniques, implying a backstory that was far more intricate than anyone had imagined. With every misstep, the mystery grew more profound, implying that modern understanding held the secrets to their revelation. The investigation of the mysterious markings on the maps began. Linguists, cryptographers, and historians were tasked with uncovering the submarine's secrets. The maps became the focus of the research, with their cryptic symbols perhaps holding the key to comprehending the submarine's mysterious journey across time and space. Forensic scientists sifted through the submarine's inside, revealing components that contrasted sharply with its World War II exterior. These sleek and sophisticated components appeared out of place against the rusting backdrop of history. This finding aroused eyebrows and questions. How could such modern features survive with an antique from a bygone era? The discovery of modern components within the submarine indicated activity beyond its recognized historical context. These findings suggested a use much after the conclusion of World War II, implying clandestine actions conducted in secret. The distinction between past and present eroded, exposing a submarine with more than simply historical significance. The authorities were both alarmed and intrigued by the likelihood that the submarine had been involved in covert post-war operations. The presence of contemporary technology in an ancient military machine revealed a complicated web of espionage and hidden intentions. It was a revelation that caused waves of discomfort across the investigation team. The police and historians debated the submarine's genuine age and usage history. The merging of old and new technology called into question earlier understandings of the time frame. This combination of eras presented a perplexing historical riddle, testing the limits of typical battle narratives. The juxtaposition of old and modern materials within the submarine caused a sense of unease and suspicion among the investigators. It was as if the vessel, a relic from the past, had been touched by the shadows of the present, altering its tale and purpose in ways that history had not documented. In the bleak interrogation room, Jason was bombarded with questions. The cops' suspicion was obvious when they investigated the specifics of his discovery. His claim of discovering the submarine in the deep rainforest was regarded with incredulity. The air was thick with mistrust as Jason attempted to persuade them of his innocence. Jason, recognizing the rising uncertainty, supplied photographic evidence. The photographs were clear and irrefutable, revealing the bizarre handwriting within the submersible. The photographs provided as silent evidence to his finding, capturing the spooky atmosphere and the mysterious markings on the walls. This visual proof began to reverse the officers' suspicion. Initially, the police were doubtful of Jason's story. However, his photographs sparked a shift from suspicion to intrigue. The peculiar writings and the submarine's unexpected location piqued their curiosity. The mystery intensified, and the police were reluctantly drawn into the conundrum that Jason had unknowingly revealed. Jason described his experience, highlighting his role as an unintentional witness. He described his photographic assignment in the rainforest, the unexpected discovery, and his subsequent actions. His earnest narrative, bolstered by appealing photographs, gradually persuaded the police of his unintentional involvement in the peculiar case of the abandoned submarine. After hours of questioning, the police released Jason, but with reservations. They instructed him to be available for further interrogation while they worked to solve the submarine mystery. Jason departed the station, his mind swirling with the day's bizarre occurrences, realizing that his involvement in the case was far from ended. The police sought clarification from a historian who specialized in wartime artifacts. They watched carefully as the historian examined the photographs of the symbols. His first reaction was one of confused recognition, demonstrating a familiarity with the symbols that went beyond conventional academic knowledge. The historian recognized several symbols that corresponded to a group known for its clandestine actions throughout the war. However, he was surprised to see them here in such an unexpected setting. His revelations hinted to the submarine's unusual origins, implying a considerably more intricate history than a normal military relic. As the historian disclosed more about the symbols, his tone shifted. He hesitated, creating the appearance that he was holding back information. The police were alarmed by the historian's hesitation, sensing a conflict between his professional integrity and the weight of undisclosed truths. The tension in the room rose as the historian became more concerned. His knowledge appeared to carry a burden, implying ramifications far beyond scholarly curiosity. The police became increasingly concerned, suspecting that the historian's suspicions were founded in a deeper, possibly darker aspect of the submarine's history. Despite the historian's discoveries, the submarine's history has remained a patchwork of incomplete stories. Each unveiled symbol and deciphered code brought them closer to understanding, but the overall tale eluded them. The historian's partial admissions left many questions unanswered, adding to the mystery of the submarine's trip through time. A diary belonging to an elderly sailor appeared among the submarine's treasures. Its worn pages described a covert mission that was not documented in any government logs. The enigmatic but evocative entries detailed a secretive journey, indicating a goal as mysterious as the submarine's final resting spot in the jungle. The diary hinted at rich cargo that was meticulously disguised and never meant to be discovered. These passages mentioned a burden of secrecy, implying that what the submarine carried was extremely important. The nature of this cargo was not directly divulged, but the sailor's cautious words made its significance clear. As the pages turned, the diary revealed details about the submarine's stealthy journey. The sailor's account brought to life the quiet tones of covert activities and silent underwater voyages. These echoes from the past presented a picture of a voyage riddled with mystery and hidden intents. The sailor's entries began to reveal intriguing information regarding the mission's objectives. Clues throughout the diary hinted at a goal considerably beyond normal naval activities. Each entry alluded to a mission with great weight, one that could change the course of events during a critical period in history.